The 1960s were known as a time of turmoil around many parts of the world. You have the Vietnam War going on in Asia, you have the American Civil Rights Movement going on in the United States. In Europe, you have different rebellious movements in Italy and Germany, and you have the counterculture movement around most of the Western world. And this tumultuous time you see also coming out in South Africa at the time. And today we're going to look at the 1960s as a whole and also the events of Sharpeville on 21st of March 1960. To begin, though, we have to go back a year or so with this man, Robert Sobukwe. Sobukwe was a member of the ANC Youth League. He was a person who worked with Nelson Mandela and some of the other ANC leaders. But by the late 1950s, especially after the Freedom Charter was signed, Sobukwe turned his ideas a bit, and he became a bit more radical. He formed the Pan-Africanist Congress, the PAC, which was focused on African-led, Black-only independence movement. Right? He did not like how the ANC was working with non-African groups, and he wanted to have an independence movement that was only run by Africans. In March of 1960, Sobukwe called for a mass demonstration for people to turn in their passes. And in the town of Sharpeville, you had hundreds of people in the morning being led by PAC members marching towards the police station to hand over their passes and demand to be arrested. The numbers, as you read, are a little bit controversial. People don't exactly know how many people were there. But we do know that by about midday, you had probably between the numbers of 3,000 and 7,000 Africans outside of the police station, singing, sometimes dancing, chanting, and facing a growing number of South African police. There are up to about 300 policemen, as you can see in this picture. Some of them are standing on what were known as sort of caissons, which were armored vehicles with machine guns on top. And there was even some fighter jets flying overhead from the Air Force. So the mood was very tense, and at some point, a scuffle happens near the front of the crowd, near the police station. It is said that a policeman was knocked down accidentally. In one way or another, the crowd was pushing forward to see what was going on. The police claimed that the crowd started throwing some stones at them. And while no one knows exactly what happened, someone fired a shot. Right? And it is usually explained that the police, a young policeman, opened up fire. These policemen were armed with machine guns, and within a few seconds, the other policemen were firing machine guns into the crowd as well. And the images of the scene, there's only one photographer at the actual demonstration, and the images all often look like this, with people running away. You see women, you see children, you see old people, and the police in the background firing upon them. Within 2 minutes of firing, there were 69 people dead, and the official numbers are 180 people were badly wounded. The police claim that they were under attack and defending themselves, where the African community sees it as a blatant massacre. Sharpeville was absolutely one of the major turning points of the anti-apartheid movement. In a second, we're going to be looking at some of the effects.